Hey everyone, I'm Derek Fox and welcome to the first episode of Code Blue News. Hey Bulldogs, welcome to the first episode of a brand new year of Code Blue News. To kick things off, there is a key player on the football team who came a long way since sophomore year. Let's take it over to Chuck, who gives us more insight on them.
Ethan Nonson, a junior at HMHS, has been playing football since his sophomore year, developing his skills at quarterback at the JV level. Coincidentally, his development combined with his hard work would lead Ethan Nonson to an opportunity that very few would ever imagine, especially through Ethan's humble beginnings.
No one ever even looked my way, even the coach, he knew I wasn't ready to be on the field yet. So, during the off season from last season to now, I worked hard. I went to the gym, I was in the field because I really wanted to play this season. It was my junior year. I was like, all right, I got to play. I got to lock in.
Being a high motor player, Nonson knew he was versatile and could do it all.
But I think the big story coming up on the Holbrook side is the injuries they've had along the offensive line. Surprisingly, it's going to be
Ethan Nonson, who's stepping up.
I'm a team player. I'll really play wherever the team needs me to be. So I was like, yeah, let's go for it. And then, they threw me in there. I was doing my assignment right. It was actually more fun than I expected it to be.
Third and about medium for the Lions. St. John Paul looking to convert. And
There we go. Good defense.
Cordero.
Yeah, good stop. And he's hype.
That's Ethan Nonson, number 4.
What really gives me the motivation and energy to play like that, I think it's just, I want the win just as bad as everybody else on the team. So I'm going to do my job to the best of my ability and then try to make sure my teammates do their job to their best of their ability so that we can, win the game. And it's just, I don't know, the satisfaction after winning and then seeing everybody happy and all that, being a team player, all that, it's a great feeling.
Ethan has definitely shown improvement since last year. I love seeing our players develop. Furthermore, our teachers have done an amazing job teaching over the years. Let's take it over to Amy, who gives us a look at our past Teacher of the Year award.
Just being a leader amongst the staff is someone that really did excellent lessons and also just going above and beyond.
HMHS has no shortage of hardworking, admirable teachers and staff, but one stands out from the rest.
She always made learning in her class very fun.
Very understanding. If something happens, she will obviously adjust the lesson, and I always will remember her class. It was full of laughs, but I also learned a lot.
And she seems to have a really great rapport with students and faculty.
Selfless sacrifice really gives back to her students, going above and beyond, being a model for the faculty. These are all terms used to describe the HMHS 2023 Teacher of the Year, Ms. Grant.
I found out that I won Teacher of the Year at the first staff meeting of the year. It was actually my first day of my 10th year, so it was a really cool, it was a milestone day for me anyway, and to win that award at that first staff meeting after just not seeing everybody for a couple months was really cool.
Ms. Grant is not only the HMHS civics teacher, but she also coaches the girls' JV soccer team, advises the class of 2026 and the National Junior Honor Society, and she also took over the 7th Club.
I really enjoy working here because of the kids and the relationships that I've made, and that's my favorite part of this job.
Teachers are an integral part of this school, the most important part, and the job that they do, and we just wanted to recognize excellence among them.
We here at Code Blue want to congratulate Ms. Grant on her achievement. This has been Amy Yip for Code Blue News. Back to you in the studio.
Shout out to Ms. Grant for her hard work within our school system. With such a crucial role in our school, I'm sure she loves to take her summer break even more than the students. Let's take it to Gavin, who gave us a deeper look at his summer job.
During my summer break, I had the opportunity to work on an oyster farm. But since I've only been doing this for a couple months, I'm gonna let my boss explain more what an oyster farmer does.
My name is Ryan Smith. I'm the owner of Signature Oyster Farm. We grow oysters in Katama Bay on Martha's Vineyard. An average day for us is about 8 to 12 hours in the water, Every day is a little bit different. Sometimes we're counting oysters, sometimes we're working on our seed. There are 3 different year classes that we have to take care of at the same time, so basically every day we're doing something different. The biggest challenge about oyster farming is you're working on the water and you have to deal with the harsh weather elements. In the summer it's hot, in the winter it's cold, and it's always windy. Some days it's raining, some days it's snowing. More or less, you still have to go to work. We dump the oysters into a big hopper, and they go up a conveyor belt, and then they fall inside a cylinder that's spinning with different size holes in it. The small ones will fall through, the large ones will go out the end. So it's doing all the work forming. It'll do in an hour what would probably take me a day or 2 to do by hand. So we're much more efficient that way. We use a sorting machine to get them all the same size, and that way it's a lot easier to get an accurate volume count-wise. So the final end product is about 100 to 110 in a bag, and we more or less, after they run through the machine, we'll count out 100 and we'll make it into a scoop, and that scoop will be the same every single time. We put them inside the bag, we seal the end, we clip it, and then when you put it inside the cage, you have to make sure that the oysters are very leveled out. That way they have that room to grow, have a consistent, nice round shape. Owning my own company is great. I'm my own boss. I do my own hours. The harder you work, the more money you can make, or the less you want to work, the less money you can make. It's all up to you.
But owning your own oyster farm means you need to hire some hard workers.
Deliveries work. We receive the order, get up a cage. That's the first step. The second step, we throw the oysters in the tumble, make a wash, nice clean. Then we dump at the column board and we select the oysters 3 inches to 3 inches and a half, and I count 100 at the bag. When we get the bags done, 50 bags, 100 bags, depending how much they order for us, we take off the water. We have 1 hour to drive the boat, load the truck, and put it in the ice.
The next day, we are on the first ferry off to Boston, delivered to our wholesale dealer, and then they're shipped across the country.
Thank you to the Signature Oyster Farm team for an amazing summer. This has been Gav Moore reporting for Code Blue Now. Back to you in the studio.
Oyster farming is definitely an interesting occupation. Speaking of occupations, did you know that the Code Blue team also has a potential job for you? Let's kick it over to Marco, who tells us more about this job.
I would like to thank Holbrook Community Access and Media for putting this on, this broadcast. Trey, you did a great job today in your first game. We'd also like to thank the students that were around either on cameras or helping out in general.
We're also focused on watching and playing sports. But have you ever wondered what goes on behind the scenes of sports broadcasting?
Sports broadcasting is when you broadcast sports, so if I can use that pretty loosely. Basically, we come together before the game and we set up a few cameras, keeping it as simple as that, and we shoot the games. But instead of just filming them, we shoot entire broadcasts, meaning we involve commentators, we involve graphics, we involve multiple different angles, we involve things like that, just like the things you see on cable today, like NBA, MLB, NFL, all the other sports, just condensed into high school sports here at Holbrook.
I think what really got me into sports broadcasting is I think eventually I started emotionally connecting towards the sport. I would primarily be sitting behind the scenes around the control room with Caroline Duggan, and we would just watch and watch basketball, switch through, and watch all the players, and it made me feel emotionally connected towards that.
You can definitely learn more about sports from sports broadcasting if you've never participated in any sports before, and then like I said, you can also learn more about the players. If you're interested in joining the world of sports broadcasting, you definitely should, because there's something for everyone. If that includes editing or filming or interviewing players, yeah.
To the sports lovers and people interested in sports broadcasting, please don't be afraid to reach out to Code Blue or Mr. Gorman in the TV studio down by the caf. This has been Marco Santini reporting for Code Blue Now.
Sports broadcasting is definitely a great opportunity for our students here. That wraps up the show for this week. I'm Derek Fox for Code Blue News. See you next month for our October edition.